I was watching the Bert Kreischer podcast, and you guys were talking about how much you made during your 4 seasons of doing that. What I'm curious about is when you become a childhood star, do they teach you about taxes, or like is there a learning curve with like most kids when they become a childhood star and they start making this money? Like what do you do with all that money?
I don't know. There's no support group, but there should be. There should be a Child Star Anonymous. That'd be a good show. I guess it's like Celebrity Rehab. No, there's no one really teaching you, and I think you just have to like hope that you meet the right people and hope you have like a semi-trustworthy parent, which in this business is 50-50 with kid actors. But luckily my mom to a certain extent understood like,
you got to pay taxes.
Yeah, like let's hold back half of every paycheck to make sure at the end of the year we're taken care of.
Were you getting homeschooled, or were you also going to like regular middle school, high school wall filming?
I went to a continuation school called Options for Youth. I love when people are like, where'd you go to high school? I'm like, Options for Youth. They're like, who was your mascot?
Yeah.
They're like, what went wrong, right? And it was great, but it was for kids who did not fit into the standard school system. So it was teen moms, gang members, and
Child
actors.
stars.
Wow.
Wow, that's
And
crazy.
is that a public school?
Yeah, it is.
My brother went to continuation.
Oh, so drug addicts.
Where's your brother today? Is he okay?
He's doing great.
He's actually got 15 years sober too.
No way.
Yeah. Is it okay to say that?
Yeah.
Okay,
He
good.
doesn't give, you know.
Yeah. Now, you move out to California. You're in continuation school in California.
Yeah.
And is the gang element, the drug addict element, like introduced from school? Like, I'm assuming that there's like a drug element. That
It was
came
North
into the
Hollywood,
picture.
right?
North Hollywood. It's exactly right.
Like,
That's where I
when
grew
That
up.
was
Start
rough at the
getting loaded.
time.
It was a rough area. I mean, I think that's the one thing that sometimes misunderstood is like, I moved from a 500 square foot apartment with a bedroom with no windows in New York with like a single mom who understandably, like, it's a bitch being a parent regardless, but doing it on your own. And we just didn't have a lot of money. And then we moved here and we had a little more, but it wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
And so we moved into a 2-bedroom apartment in North Hollywood in like an elevated Oakwood. And it was $1,800 a month. And I literally thought we were in a palace. We were. Like, we had a pool, we had a racquetball court. I'm like, I didn't know I was Elon Musk. Like, this is stunning. And I stayed there from 14 to 29 because it was so. I got my mom a nice place when I was 18, but I stayed because I'd never lived in a 1,000 square foot apartment for $1,800 a month.
Whoa.
So anyway, the area though, it was super transient and weird because no one lives in these places 16 years. I lived there 6 months. So I just remember like drugs and all like that seedy underbelly stuff. It wasn't really at school. And I wasn't exposed to it on set, like the Hollywood stuff as much. It just like was slowly around. And my best friends who weren't actors, like the people I would just hang out with after school, just it's so trite that it's gross because it's just somebody started smoking weed and then weed was the thing and then somebody tried something harder and then that became the thing, even though we all told ourselves we'd only be potheads for the rest of our lives.
What was the something harder?
Well, I mean, I had friends who were, smoking speed in warehouses. I didn't go that far, but
Yeah.
I mean, they're North Hollywood kids who didn't, there wasn't a lot of foundational support there.
Right.
Were you hanging out with other kids in North, like celebrities in Joseph Gordon-Levitt's from like Van Nuys, North Hollywood area?
Right.
Or did you guys ever link up or in continuation? Were there any other actors?
No, I mean, I always had actor friends. I remember I started going to acting class when I was 15. Thank God, because I had like a manager who was like, "You're not good." And I was like, "Babe, I'm pretty good." I'm like, "Are you seeing all the razzle dazzle I'm putting on these jokes?" I'm like, "I have a show with my name on it." And she's like, "Yeah, but you're not good. Like, you're a fucking shtick machine. Like, you're a forward energy, dad, please love me, like broken shtick monster.
Whoa.
And that's not going to work anywhere but where you are right now." and that's proven to be correct. No, and so and so she's like, you got to go to acting class. And so I went, and thank God I fell in love with it, because I'm kind of at my heart just an acting geek anyway. And in that class was Evan Rachel Wood, Dakota Fanning, Penn Badgley, Evan Peters, like all these killers. But, you know, they weren't who they are today. They were just like me, like young actors who wanted to be better. And it was there where I was like, oh, maybe I can do this forever. Because I really fell in love with it on a deeper level then.
And you were pretty pudgy?
I was a heavy boy. I was a thick boy, yes.
Yeah.
What if I just denied it? I was like, no.
I don't know what you're talking
5'10",
about.
145. On the wrestling team.
So you fall in love with acting. When did you start going to this acting class?
I was like 14 years old, and it became my, like, you know, I would go once a week, and then I would help like teach. And by that, I mean, there was a younger kids class that they would have the 15, 16-year-olds come and like assist with the 8 and 9-year-old kids who were taking class. And it was my foundation. It was my social life. I've told this story before, so I don't think I'm speaking out of school, but my first like real kiss was during a game of Spin the Bottle with Evan Rachel Wood. Like,
Wow.
yeah, and it was ridiculous. And God bless her for being willing to kiss a young boy who wanted to know what that felt like. But yeah, I was 16.
That's great.
Shout out Evan. Thank you so much.
I love it. So were any, I mean, without throwing anybody under the bus, was there weed being smoked in the acting class?
No, those kids were all good kids. It was my street rat North Hollywood contingent. It was still my best friend to this day. Shout out Len.
What about
All right.
Nickelodeon? Were you guys like sneaking off, getting high, and then going back and filming?
Some were. I wasn't. Like in general, like I mean, like Nickelodeon kid stars of that day. Like I'm sure.
Shia LaBeouf.
Amanda Bynes.
Amanda's so great, man. She's just like she's such a great person, and then also just selfishly, I think she's literally one of the greatest performers. Like I want to watch her do more stuff, but she's awesome. But yeah, dude, I mean, there were so many. I think I was like weirdly the exception, but because I was a thick boy, it weirdly like saved me in the ways that I never felt, even though I had a show with my name in it, I didn't feel a part of that crowd. Like that was a different level than me, like these cool kid actors who would go to events and clubs and look chic and maybe were partying. Like I felt comfortable amongst my group of buddies who were going to Grant High School and were just like doing normal knucklehead shit that kids do, not like the famous Hollywood kids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like child stars that have stories about being bullied because they're stars, and I
Yeah.
can never figure that out. But was that a thing?
Yeah. I went to Performing Arts High School in New York, and when I moved to LA, we didn't know where to go. My mom's like, I've heard of this place, Beverly Hills. I think that's nice. So we move into a little apartment in Beverly Hills for 9 months, and I go to middle school there while I'm doing the Amanda show. And I'm used to Performing Arts High School where they're literally like, whatever you need, the bigger the opportunity, the better. We'll make it easy. I walk into this normal school where they're like, you're not coming for 3 weeks? Like,
Yeah.
you have algebra. And I'm like, I got song and dance. Like, I can't make it. And they were like, then you fail. Like, we're not helping you to skip school for months on end. And those kids sucked.
Yeah.
Those kids were really shitty and mean. And I was like, oh, this isn't for me. I'll go to school with the teen moms.
Okay.
My people.
Yeah, my sister was going to school with the oldest son on Tool Time. Where
Zachary Ty Bryant.
yeah.
Solid.
So they're
We all know each other. No.
really? No, I remember she was going to high school with him, and it was a trip seeing him, like, you know, when he was in 9th grade. It's like, oh, dude, that. But like when he goes to a party, people are just like, fuck this guy. Not because they
Where
know
are they?
him, but because they're jealous. You know, it's like this guy's
Yeah.
on TV, and just people want to hate at that age. So,
Oh, yeah. I can't even imagine.
I mean, were you feeling that like when you go to high school parties?
Yeah, it was odd. I mean, as long ago as like in the last 10 years, my wife's younger sister was going to a college in San Luis Obispo, and they wound up. I was like 27 at the time, and they're having some party, and it's a bunch of like college seniors, and I'm there with my wife, like feeling like a chaperone, and some kid like really wanted to fight me. And I was like,
Wow.
I'd want to fight me too.
But why?
Because I'm fucking Josh Peck, and what was I doing? It made no sense.
Yeah.
So then you get the Drake and Josh show, and at that point you're like pretty into the just being loaded.
No, it wasn't until the last. I was 15.
Great question.
The last season is where sort of the wheels fell off. Where I was sowing my wild oats, as they say. But
How many seasons were there?
just 4.
Okay.
And
And a season per year?
yeah, about a season per year, and it wasn't very popular. When it was on, it's only like become very popular over the last like 10 years, just because of social media and it just people who were young when they watched it at the time that it was on TV, they got older, and then their little sisters and brothers watched it, and then theirs did. You know what I mean? So it's weird.
Syndication.
Yeah, I mean, there's no like syndication like money or any of that, but I mean, it's just they just air it a bunch.
Right.
Do you not get? So you don't get paid for syndication?
No, there's no residuals in kids TV.
Are you
There's
getting?
no residuals in Jackass.
Really?
I mean, not for the TV show.
Not for the TV
No
show.
way.
Yeah, I never saw a penny for they still play all that.
Anybody in Tremaine pocketing that? No,
I mean, I would doubt it. Like, I would, yeah. I mean, I don't know anything
I would
for sure,
doubt it.
but
Yes.
I mean,
Wait, guys, is Spike Jones doing okay? I just want to make sure Spike's
but
okay.
are the producers of the show getting?
I'm sure.
Do you like shopping on Amazon? I do. And good news is, Steve-O's butt wipes for your butthole are available on Amazon. And if you want a real bundle of a deal, you can get Steve-O's hot sauce for your butthole, plus Steve-O's butthole destroyer, and Steve-O's butt wipes for your butthole. It's the butthole bundle, available on Amazon right now.
Yeah, dude.